The scholar's warning. Hamza's heart was still racing as he sat in the cold, dust-filled mosque. His mind replayed the chilling voice that had whispered in the dark. "You seek my name?" The air still felt thick, as if the unseen presence had left behind its lingering energy. The Jinn beside him remained silent, its amber eyes fixed on the open door. "What now?" Hamza whispered. The Jinn didn't turn. "Now, you must leave. And you must seek someone who knows more than I do." Hamza's eyes widened. "You mean someone who knows how to fight it?" The Jinn's gaze darkened. "No. Someone who knows how to survive it." The next morning, Hamza wasted no time. He told Bilal everything about the mosque, the whispers, the trickster Jinn. Bilal's face paled. You actually heard it?" Hamza nodded. "And I need to know what it is. There must be someone who can help." Bilal hesitated, then whispered, "There is one man who might know, but we are not supposed to speak of him." Hamza frowned. "Who?" Bilal swallowed hard. "Sheikh Umar." Sheikh Umar lived in a small house near the outskirts of the village. The elders often spoke of him in hushed voices, claiming he had once encountered things beyond human understanding. When Hamza and Bilal arrived, they found the old man sitting under a tree, reading from a worn-out Quran. His beard was long and white, his eyes sharp despite his age. He looked up as the boys approached. "You have seen something, haven't you?" Hamza stiffened. "How did you know?" Sheikh Umar sighed, closing the Quran. "Because you are not the first to come to me with eyes full of fear." Hamza hesitated, then spoke. "I heard it. The trickster Jinn." The sheikh's face darkened. "You spoke to it?" Hamza nodded slowly. Sheikh Umar let out a deep breath. "Then you are in more danger than you realize. The name that must not be spoken." Sheikh Umar led the boys inside his home, where shelves lined with ancient books filled the small room. The scent of old paper and burning oud filled the air. "Tell me everything," the old man instructed. Hamza recounted the events of the past nights, his entry into the mosque, the whispering shadows, the Jinn with amber eyes, and the name that had been scratched into the mihrab. Sheikh Umar's fingers tightened around his prayer beads. "Did you say the name aloud?" Hamza shook his head. "No. The Jinn inside the mosque warned me not to." The sheikh exhaled. "Then you still have a chance to break free?" Bilal's voice was barely above a whisper. "What happens if he speaks the name?" Sheikh Umar's gaze was grave. "If you call a Jinn by its true name, it binds itself to you. It can follow you wherever you go, whisper into your thoughts, and appear when you least expect it. Some Jinn want to be summoned, for that is how they gain power over humans." Hamza's blood ran cold. "Then how do I get rid of it?" Sheikh Umar stood and walked toward a wooden chest. He opened it carefully, revealing an old, weathered book. The pages were yellowed with time, the ink faded but still readable. He flipped through the pages before stopping at a passage written in Arabic. His voice was heavy as he read aloud. "The trickster Jinn, born of smoke and deception, its name erased from the records of men, its voice the voice of the lost." Hamza's breath hitched. "What does that mean?" Sheikh Umar looked up. "It means no human knows its real name anymore. It was removed from history so that no one could ever summon it again." A heavy silence filled the room. Hamza's mind raced. "But I saw part of the name carved into the mosque's wall." The sheikh's expression turned grave. "Then someone long ago tried to seal it away. And if you finish reading that name—" His voice trailed off, but the warning was clear. If Hamza read the name, he could awaken something ancient, something that should have remained forgotten. The choice. Hamza's heart pounded. "So what do I do? If I don't say its name, will it keep haunting me?" Sheikh Umar sighed. "There is only one way to break its hold over you. You must return to the mosque and erase what remains of the name from the wall." Bilal's eyes widened. "But won't that make it angry?" Sheikh Umar's eyes held deep wisdom. "It is already angry. The question is, will you let it consume you, or will you fight back with the knowledge Allah has given us?" Hamza swallowed hard. The idea of going back to the abandoned mosque filled him with dread. But if that was the only way to free himself from the trickster Jinn's grasp, He had no choice.
The return to the mosque.
That night, Hamza prepared himself. He carried a small lantern, a cloth to wipe away the inscription, and a strong heart filled with faith. Bilal insisted on coming along. "If you're going back, I'm going too." Hamza didn't argue. He was grateful for the company. As they reached the abandoned mosque, the air felt heavier than before. The doors creaked open without them even touching them, as if the darkness inside was expecting them. The wind whispered through the broken windows. The familiar sense of unease crawled over Hamza's skin. They stepped inside. The mosque was eerily silent. Even the usual whispers were absent. It was waiting. Hamza took a deep breath and walked toward the mihrab. The engraving was still there, faint but visible under the dust. He raised his cloth, ready to wipe it away. Then a voice. "Do not erase it." The trickster's whisper was closer than ever. The air turned ice cold. Hamza clenched his jaw. "I will not fear you." The shadows around him shifted, twisting unnaturally. The temperature dropped further. "Erase it, and I will follow you forever." Hamza's hands trembled. But then, he remembered Sheikh Umar's words. "Do not let it consume you. Do not let it win." Taking a deep breath, he pressed the cloth against the wall and wiped away the name. The moment the last letter disappeared, the ground trembled. A deafening, inhuman screech echoed through the mosque. The shadows reeled back, twisting and contorting in agony. The unseen presence howled. And then, silence. The air lightened. The darkness faded. The whispers were gone. Hamza collapsed to his knees, gasping for breath. Bilal gripped his shoulder. "Is it over?" The mosque felt empty. The jinn's presence was gone. Hamza looked at the blank wall where the name had once been. He had broken its hold. And the trickster jinn had vanished.
For now.